How's the
understand they're flowing over smoothly.
The MUTCD is the Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices. This document is issued by the Federal Highway Administration and sets the minimum standards, provides guidance, and ensures uniformity of traffic control devices across the United States. The following are the procedures we follow for temporary traffic control setups for high volume and high hazard traffic. To begin, work orders that call for temporary traffic control are received with information on the assignments or tasks that need to be completed for the day. Always ensure that you have the proper personal protective equipment for the required job. For all temporary traffic control setups, affected employees are required to wear standard uniforms, steel-toed boots, and ANSI certified Class 3 high visibility vest. These vests will ensure the maximum visibility for alerting motorists of their presence. Other required PPE may include eye protection, hearing protection, head protection, such as a hard hat and gloves. A support vehicle is required for all high-hazard temporary traffic control zones. Before leaving the facility, a vehicle pre-inspection is required, as well as a post-inspection upon return. During a pre-trip inspection, you should inspect the vehicle, both internal and external, and visually inspect all traffic control devices, including cones, flags, and signs. Assure that the vehicle is equipped with appropriate safety lighting and all the equipment, including overhead lights and arrow boards, are working properly. It should be noted that high-hazard traffic control setups for higher volume traffic are always accompanied by the temporary traffic control supervisor and may be conducted at night to avoid traffic congestion. Low hazard is defined as low volume, manageable traffic such as 25 miles per hour or less. The traffic control supervisor does not always need to be involved in this setup. There are 5 components of temporary traffic control setup for high volume traffic. The advanced warning area is the area where drivers are informed of what to expect ahead. RWRD Conveyance uses 3 signs for the advanced warning area in high hazard setups. The first sign tells the drivers utility work ahead. The second sign will inform drivers which lane is closed ahead. The third sign is the universal symbol sign to assist with any language barriers. The transition area is the redirection of the driver's normal path to a new path. This redirection is intended to occur at the beginning of the transition area. A buffer space is an optional feature for a temporary traffic control near the activity area that separates traffic flow from the work activity or a potentially hazardous area and provides recovery space for an errant vehicle. The work activity area is the portion of the roadway closed to traffic and set aside for workers, equipment, and materials. The workspace within the activity area may be stationary or move as work progresses. A support vehicle with a truck-mounted arrow board stays behind the vehicle performing the work. The termination area is the area where traffic is returned to its normal path. Once at the site, the traffic control supervisor will meet with the work crew for a safety briefing to discuss the setup, vehicle positioning, and any other pertinent information. Prior to a lane closure being performed, conveyance must be contacted.
Conveyance 7653.
Go ahead, 5-3.
I have a non-emergency lane closure to report.
I'm ready to copy the information.
The lane closure will be at 6100 South Alvernon Way. We'll be occupying the northbound outside lane for approximately 1 hour.
10-4, the time is 10:09. Conveyance clear.
Copy, 100953 clear.
After normal business hours, the calls will be forwarded to the Operations Control Center, otherwise known as the LCC. The LCC personnel will then document the lane closures until the conveyance staff return to their posts the following business day. The traffic control supervisor will then begin to place the advanced warning signs, being aware of their surroundings and oncoming traffic at all times. The initial signs should be visible from a long distance and should be located in front of hills or curves that may obstruct safety zones. If needed, additional signs should be placed for good visibility. The distance of the sign placement varies depending on the speed limit of the road. This information is covered in the MUTCD. After the sign setup is complete, the traffic control supervisor will position his support vehicle with arrow board activated and begin to set up the lane closure. Reflective colored cones are used throughout the temporary traffic control lane closure. The traffic control supervisor will then notify the work crew via radio.
7685 7653.
685.
Go ahead and come in.
The work crew will then arrive and position their vehicle appropriately within the temporary traffic control setup and complete their work. Once the work is complete, the work crew exits the temporary traffic control setup and the traffic control supervisor breaks down the setup by picking up the cones and the signs. The traffic control supervisor then contacts conveyance to cancel the lane closure.
Conveyance 7653.
Go ahead, 5-3.
The lane closure at 6100 South Alvernon Way is now complete.
10-4, the time is 11:02. Conveyance clear.
Copy, 1102 53 clear.
For those instances when low hazard setup is needed and the traffic control supervisor does not need to be involved, the work crew will set up the required cones and signs around the work area only. The 5 components are not always needed here. The flow monitoring group will perform their own temporary traffic control setups if those setups are considered low to medium hazards and if they have the appropriate equipment for the setup. The flow monitoring group uses the term medium hazard to describe their traffic control setup, which sometimes include roads with speeds above 25 miles per hour but may be less traveled. However, for all high hazard traffic, the flow monitoring group will contact the conveyance division for the temporary traffic control setup. Occasionally, the work crew may need to conduct mobile work or mobile operations, each as much as 15 minutes long, for activities such as visual inspections and spraying manholes, which often involve frequent short stops. Warning signs, flashing vehicle lights, flags, and/or channelizing devices should be used. Certain types of operations move intermittently or continuously and do not occupy a single area for prolonged periods of time. Training for temporary traffic control. ATSSA, also known as ATSA, is the American Traffic Safety Services Association. This spreadsheet shows the training that is required for affected employees. Certification training consists of road safety, traffic safety, highway safety, and traffic control safety. To find out more about temporary traffic control, including training, please review the RWRD procedure PN0060 located on the RWRD intranet. As you can see, in every aspect of our work, safety plays a key role. The safety of the public and our employees is our number one concern. We hope this video gives you a better understanding of everything that goes into a temporary traffic control setup. Many thanks to our amazing RWRD crew, without whom this video would not be possible.
It's empty, chief. I understand they're flowing over smoothly.